Good morning, guys. This is Miss Henry coming to you with session 1 from my very own kitchen. I wanted to talk a little bit about and review the zones of regulation that we talked about at the beginning of the year, or you may have heard about in some of your classes. So we talked about, or there are 4 colors that we talk about within the zones. There's blue, green, yellow, and red. So some of you at home may have access to the different printables, things that we're going to post online, and some of you may not. I do not have access to any of it here in my house, so I just found things around my house to make it work out so we could have this short little quick lesson together. A lot of times when you're in the blue zone, your body's running slower. You could be feeling sick, you could be tired, you could be doing a lot of different things. You could be bored, honestly. Some people may be in the blue zone right now over the break, or over spring break that was last week. So the blue zone just means that your body's running slower, your heart rate's down, your breathing is slower, and you're trying to do what you can to just kind of slug along. The next color we talk about is the green zone. The green zone is a green light. It means you're good to go. You could be happy, you could just be calm, you could be focused, you're just A-okay and just riding in the zone. You're feeling okay in the world. The next one is the yellow zone. It means you probably should proceed with caution, maybe slow down. This zone describes when you start to lose control. You could be frustrated, overwhelmed, start getting a little silly, a little overly excited, worried, anxious, or surprised. The last zone color is the red zone. The red zone is reserved for extreme emotions such as anger, aggression, elation. You can have trouble making good decisions in this zone, and sometimes you're out of control and you need to just stop and reassess. The big picture that we talk about with any of these zones is none of these zones are bad. At any point, you're going to go through all 4 of these zones. In my classes, a lot of times we've talked about if you're being chased by a tiger, I want you in the red zone. I want your heart rate up. I want your breathing faster. I want you to making really quick decisions to figure out what you're going to do to get away. But if you're feeling sick, you're going to be in the blue zone. You're going to be slow, or you're going to be kind of taking cautious and taking things slow. So a quick review of our 4 zones. I want you to take a second, and I want you to write down anything that you have felt over the last 2 weeks. What zones you may have been in. We've graphed these zones a little bit in our classroom, so we know that sometimes in the morning we're a little bit in the blue zone. We know Miss Henry's in the blue zone until I have my coffee. And then we know as things going on, if you start working out or you're playing outside, you're running to that like silly, excited yellow zone. But for most of the day, you're probably just kind of living in the green zone. The second part of our lesson that we're going to go through is talking about different emotions that go in the zone. So in our classroom, we've used different emotion cards. So you've seen them, and it gives you a picture of somebody's face. There's an emotion underneath it, and we can sort those. If you have access to them, feel free to print those off. There's a whole little chart there. You will take the emotion and slide it into which zone that you think it falls into. Again, blue, green, yellow, or red. But if you don't, I want you guys to find some books. Find some books in your house, find some magazines in your house, and you're gonna find some different pictures, and we're gonna talk about the emotions that are in this. This is Alice in Wonderland. This is one of Parker's books. And just starting off in the very beginning, you can see her face and her expression. I would definitely say that she is probably in the yellow zone. Her face looks worried. She doesn't know what's happening. If you zoom out, you can see that she's sliding down. Everything's kind of whirling around in the room. That is a great example of a yellow zone. Let's see what else I can find. All right, if we look right here, he is being silly and kind of happy. He is probably between green and yellow as well. Right? He's really excited. He's kind of overly excited sometimes. And so you really have to worry about that. If you look right here at Alice's face, she's just okay. She's walking along. She's talking to the dog that's turned into a broom. But she definitely has an everything's just okay face. Maybe questioning a little bit, but doesn't really see that anything is happening out of the ordinary. Here we have She is back dreaming and she is sleeping under the tree. So I would definitely call her in the blue zone here. She is resting, her heart rate's slow, her breathing is slow. Let's grab one more book for a little bit older. This is Swing It Sunny. This is Madison's book. It is a graphic novel, so we can kind of go through. It's going to be a little bit more difficult. We have in the very beginning, you see Sunny. She's very happy. She's just okay. She's in the green zone. As we move to later on, she is I just lost it. She is raking leaves while reading a book. She is in the blue zone. She looks very bored. Mrs. Henry should have done a better job of marking the pages. We can just skip through. Let's see if we can find a yellow zone. Ooh. She is dancing away in a disco number. She is very silly here. She is in the yellow zone. And then throughout the book, she's actually gonna get sick in a minute. And she has to go to the doctor. Let me see if I can find it. And she gets a shot. And when she gets a shot, she very much goes into the red zone. This is after the doctor, they've come home. She is crying a whole lot in her room. She is really upset. And she is in the red zone. Her mom has to come in. She talks to her. She gets her calmed down. And they kind of talk about the different things that happen from the doctor's office. So you can go through many different books that you have in your house. You can go through different, whether you have books for your little siblings, whether you have books of your own. I found a magazine from somewhere in our house, so you can go through here and see all the different faces and all the different people. And just take a look at their faces and see kind of what you think here. Okay, we know Olaf is probably usually in the green zone. Here is where the captain is very worried. He's in the blue zone. He realizes they've been stuck in the fog. And then, of course, Sven and Olaf are usually happy and live in the green zone. So if you, as you're going through, I want you to talk about different emotions that you see, and I want you to practice making different facial expressions. Whether you're surprised and really excited, you're running around all crazy, and then you're running into the red zone and you make a really big broad face like everything's angry. Go into the blue zone, you're just kind of like, I'm bored, I don't want to do this anymore. Okay, and I want you guys to start practicing that at home, or just practice a little bit at home. Take some notes down, write it down, and see if you can notice how you are throughout the day. Some questions that I'm going to post on Schoology, I'll probably make a Google form so you guys can share and answer back if you'd like to, is how does sorting different ways that you feel into 4 different zones help you understand yourself better and also help you understand where other people are coming from? How does it help you understand your family better, your siblings better, your parents better? And then talk about when you understand what you're feeling, how does it help you understand what's going on a little bit better? Because if you know, like, hey, I'm in the yellow zone, I'm getting a little excited right now, but like today, it's raining outside, so we can't go outside and run around. What are some other ideas that you can come up with? Thank you guys for jumping on here. Please have fun doing this lesson at home. Teach your siblings if you want to so they know the different zones, and I look forward to seeing you all in session 2.